Hi everyone, my name is Sabine Benoit. I'm the Canadian Policy Associate at the Consumer Choice Centre, and unfortunately, I am here to talk to you once again about tariffs. I really wish I didn't have to talk about tariffs again, but here I am making another video on this. I'd really rather not, but unfortunately, I have to because every week something new happens in this trade war that will never end, that will never die. As many of you already know, Canada came out and said they wanted to impose a digital services tax on the United States. That's going to put a huge tax on a lot of companies like Netflix that are American. That upset the United States. President Trump came back and said the negotiations that we had already started at the G7 are off, and a new tariff is going to be imposed within the next 7 days on Canada. Antagonizing the United States after leaving the G7 with a positive mindset and 30 days to negotiate isn't the greatest idea. Now, no matter what you feel about the United States and how they've been acting when it comes to this tariff war, it's up and down. Will they? Won't they? They're antagonizing their one of their greatest partners, and as a Canadian, it upsets me. But at the end of the day, this is a negotiation. This is the reality that we're in, and imposing a tax like this isn't helping. Even if you think that it's good that we're retaliating by imposing a tax, not a great idea during a negotiation, but even more importantly, it's not really a tax on the American companies. What's going to happen at the end of the day is you're going to end up paying that tax because Netflix isn't going to pay it. They're just going to put an additional fee on your subscription. So at the end of the day, you're paying that tax, us, Canadians. So it's not helpful to us and it's not helpful to the negotiating process. Now, Elizabeth Hicks and I, my colleague in the United States, we wrote a blog post just a few days ago talking about the new negotiation leaving the G7 with these 30 days. And at that time, we said the only ending of this negotiation can only be that tariffs are eliminated, that this trade war is over, and that any threat of further tariffs are negotiated away. Anything less than that is not good enough because both of our economies are suffering. The United States economy is suffering, the Canadian economy is suffering, and at the end of the day, the consumer is suffering. People are trying to just buy eggs at the store, they're trying to buy milk, they're trying to buy basic essentials, clothing, and they're finding it harder to do. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of seeing these prices go up in the store as a consumer. And the longer this trade war goes on, the worse it's going to get. So the end of these 30 days that thankfully are back on because we backed down on the digital services tax. Thankfully, the negotiation is back on. I'm hoping it goes well from here on in. The only way that it has to end is with ending the tariffs, ending the trade war. With our affordability crisis and the international crisis that keeps getting worse, prices are only going to get worse. Life is going to get worse for consumers. So the only end to this trade war is an end to this trade war. No new taxes, no negotiating, no saying 5% on this, 10% on that, no more of this. And we better negotiate properly because things are getting worse for the consumer and it's not going well. So this should be a good lesson to Canada and to the United States to sit down in good faith and decide not to hurt consumers anymore.